I'm coming over. Math is really for blockers. It's above my pay grade. I can go up to about 4, and I like to look at pictures. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. We have a Selesnya Humans deck. This is a white and green aggro deck that performs better than I would have ever expected it to. The turn 1, turn 2 is absolutely outrageous, and it is a precursor to our next video that many of you will be very excited for. I know this much. It's mono white, version 9. Don't tell anyone though. But today we'll be sticking with Selesnya Humans, and this actually kind of builds off of the strengths of mono white, which is a lot of fun in the reasoning for me mentioning it. So we'll break down the deck list for the Selesnya Humans, the synergies, the strategies included within, and then showcase all of that trash in the gameplay footage, finally wrapping up with our final thoughts. So you get the whole story here today, and yeah, thanks a bunch. Let's get into the deck. I don't know how Canadian this kid is, but why is he thanking us so much? The Selesnya Humans deck is a standard card, best of 1, 2.1 average mana value, with 29 creatures and 7 non-creatures, sitting on that, you know, standard 24 land for consistency's sake, and things are flowing really nice here. The turn 1, turn 2 that I mentioned is the Ullenbach Escort. For 1 mana, a 1/1 with Vigilance, and you can sacrifice it to give target creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it, lifelink, and indestructible until the end of turn. So this is a little bit harder to use than the Selfless Savior, if you're familiar. Rotated now, just to sack to give something indestructible that you control. But we do have the ability to put +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures really easily within the deck, and gaining that extra lifelink through that sacrifice trigger that grants indestructible is really, really, really good, especially in the best of 1 meta that is so aggro oriented. With that being said, you know, the Luminarch Aspirant, it's going to put +1/+1 counters on everything. The Escort turn 1, the Luminarch on turn 2 is just like, okay, we're off to the races. How can we be beat? They literally need to minus you, like the hook can minus, right? Or exile. And, well, we can protect against both of those things because the minus is dependent upon the toughness of our creatures, which is increasing each turn through the Luminarch, right? So they're going to struggle to keep up to that. And then if they're exiling with a targeted, a single target spell, we have Wild Shape, and this can grant us hexproof. It can also give us a base toughness of 3/3 and trample, which is really nice. And we'll use that trample with all of the +1/+1 counters because they'll transfer over. So we'll just have a massive trample attacker, which is really cool. And then let's talk about that massive trample attacker. Hamlet Vanguard for 3 is a 1/1 with Ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, it will do so with 2 +1/+1 counters for each other non-human that you control, non-token human that you control. So this is nice. We've got this thing up to like a 16/16. You flood the field with humans, you play this, you either attack with trample via Wild Shape, or you get into the air with Maul of the Skyclaves, giving it +2/+2 flying and first strike. And of course it has those +1 counters on it as soon as it enters, which means you can protect it with the Escort, giving it indestructible. So that's kind of, you know, the main strategy of the deck. Of course, you know, we do build around that and try to make things consistent. We have Catilda, which will give the ability to flood the field with creatures because we're tapping those creatures now as a mana source of the color that they do have. We can also sink in for 6 to put a +1/+1 counter on each of our creatures, which is really nice. And then Augur of Autumn, when we have Coven, we're playing not only lands from the top of our library, but creatures off the top of our library as well. So, you know, playing the creatures and then tapping our creatures without Summoning Sickness for mana to play more creatures, playing the Vanguard on top of all of them, and then trample flying for lethal, right? We do also have the Brutal Cathar. This can help us, you know, mitigate what our opponent's doing with the Exile. You're all familiar. As day turns to night, it will transform. So if you don't cast or your opponent doesn't cast, it'll go to night, and then when someone double casts, it'll come back to day, and that'll re-trigger the exile every time, which is nice. And then the Intrepid 3/1 with lifelink, you can pay 2 to put Valor counters on it, and then give everything +1/+1 equal to the number of Valor counters on it, which is great. And you know, because of Catilda allowing us to tap the creatures for mana, we can dump into the Intrepid quite aggressively, which is really, really cool. So that's the deck. You know, we have the farmlands and the pathways for consistency, and then talking about a little bit of sideboard action here as we've been working on it for the best of 3 folk. We will side in Thalia, and this will make the non-creatures more to cast, so we'll side out all of the non-creatures. Wild Shape leaves, Maul of the Skyclave leaves, so that allows us to bring in 7 different things. I would assume that if they're playing, you know, a turns deck or a control deck, then we are taking in Thalia, taking those things out, so we're not taxing ourselves. And then if they're, you know, creature baits, we have the Cathars as well, but, you know, the Elite Spellbinders alongside Thalia is where we're going for those 7 changed cards. And if they are running a creature deck, you know, you can kind of sub out some of the other stuff to take some more Cathars and the Sigarda as well, right? So it's a really easy sideboard for you guys. And we have a little bit more room for extra slots that we're still working on, but it's a good enough start, and I'm sure you can build off of that. So we'll bust into today's gameplay footage. Make sure to like the video to show your support. And most importantly, enjoy. Okay, going first, we have a really nice 1-drop that we can't play, but it's still probably good to keep, question mark. And we'll pray for a 3rd land, and then we can just play like 1 turn back. Interesting, but we don't want to lose Catilda. We should just, you know, play the Escort, protect the Escort, and top deck a 3rd land, like an absolute legend. Because we can't play the Wild Shape with the Escort, as it only will generate white mana. Kind of a bummer. Not the greatest thing. We could block and kill this. Maybe worth it. Gonna do it. We go down to 19. Chargers dealt with. We pick up a land or a 1-drop. It's pretty sick. Let's pull their removal on Catilda. No attacks. And it's like a great card, so they're going to remove it. That's good news for us. Okay, they remove the Escort. It appears they're familiar. Taking 2 damage. It's not really what we want to do. But as a 3/3, there's only so many burn spells that take care of it. Let's just get this Intrepid out. It can block. It can grab a little bit of life through that interaction. And maybe, just maybe, it survives. And we can throw the Skyclave on it. It's also a human for the Vanguard, which gets exponentially better. Well, not exponentially, but linearly better. The more stuff we've got going on. So I actually might take this turn. Just so we can play the Vanguard and get the most out of it as a 5/5. You know, it's just... It feels a lot better. And then swinging into the Bandit Lord also feels fine. Decent. And now we have a 5/5 with Ward 1. I'm not sure they're going to get through that. And it's about to be a 7/7. They can dump into it and make the token. We're at 16. Potentially, we should have prioritized the life gain a little bit harder. Oh, cat attack. Kill the Battlecry Goblin, I believe. One blocker. I'll push the cat out of the way. You're in my view screen, kitty. I mean, it can already block them. I think we, maybe just snag that token. And it's like a free card. Maul can go on Catilda, I guess? They have another Battlecry Goblin. I'm glad I took the first. Double pack tactics would have been nasty, yo. Maybe we pass it tonight as well. They would be top decking against us. I like it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Adversary out. Escort out. Oh, it's a land. I almost feel bad. Humans need all the help they can get to win games. Let's be honest with each other. They can pump into it quite a bit. They have 6, which is 3 pumps. Pack Tactics has already gone through. I'll just, I'll throw the Escort in the way. It is what it is. The Skyclave on the Intrepid would be cool, but a 5/5 is going to shut them down again, and we can grab 3 life up to 12. Nice. So they're tapped, right? So it's no worries. And they could have traded without that. Do they get haste? No, it's another land. That is so sad. Good game, Goblins. Now let's see if we can find some ghouls. On the draw, hand looks quite excellent. Luminarch Aspirant on turn 2 would be even better. Turn 2, Catilda. Turn 3, Augur. Let's hit for 1. Leave that mana untapped. They do just deal with it. It's a good card. I get it. But now maybe they regret that. And they're gonna overreach to deal with this. And we have another. I hope. We can burn through their removal. We do have the sideboard options for this matchup, but that's a different story. Let's hit for 1. Luminarch Aspirant on top would have gone nice with the escort. Our Vanguard will be a 7/7. They have bounce effects, though, and that's just so sad. Luminarch out. They have removal. They're going to kill the Augur. Hamlet Vanguard out. Definitely divide by 0. Interesting. Memory Deluge. They don't find what they want, and they're too embarrassed to let us beat them down. Going first, no way to lose. That's the key to winning. Just go first. And have an amazing turn 1 and turn 2. Then you can't lose. Did you hear that? Cannot lose. Allenbach hits for 1. It also now has the ability to give our Luminarch, or any creature with a +1 on it, indestructible, which is fun. At least for me. Third land is nice. We just go right for it. It would be cool if we got our 4th land. Then we could double drop. Luminarch can push up everybody to 2, and then it's a nice smackdown. Hitting for 4, down to 15. I like it. That 4th land is going to be just Dudley. They get a Luminarch. The joys of going first, right? It's like, oh, don't worry, I already have 2 of those in play. Up to a 2/2. 4th land on the top. No attacks. Unless they want the veteran to die, which is unlikely. I don't think so. What's going on over there, Willis? What's the hold up? Guacamole. Okay, it's our turn. Not a land. But it does allow secondary protection, which I'm a fan of. So, protect the Intrepid. And then just protect myself. Is there a double block here? Force the double block? It doesn't matter, we have indestructible. Oh my gosh, they allow it through. That's a clean hit for 5, down to 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This Vanguard's about to be an 11/11. Righteous Valkyrie, cute. That's a cute card you've got there. You'll need more than life gain to save you, my friend. So top deck like a Maul of the Skyclaves or something, right? Give us flying. Or even a wild shape for trample. They push up the Valkyrie. Smart move. Turn. There's the land. You could push up the whole team. I mean, I like that play quite a bit as well. So greedy. So greedy. Right? Incredibly greedy. Let's just push up an Intrepid. This is a 7/5. It requires a double block. And it also throws us to 27. It's a single block. Respectable. No need to give it life gain as it already has it, nor does it need the indestructible. Skyclave's nice. They gain 3 life. It also has lifelink, which is good. Okay, Catilda out. And then it's like, holy Toledo's. That's a 16/16 Hamlet Vanguard. Woo! That is expensive. Oh my gosh. What do you even do at this point, right? Just take buckets of life home with you? I'll show you life gain deck. Sometimes things just work out perfectly. It's nice to have gotten this on footage. If we can top deck a Skyclave or the Wild Shape, it'll be absolutely perfect. Flawless victory! Up to a casual 36 life. They bring the Lunarch Veteran in. They gain 1 life from the entry of a Cleric through the Valkyrie. Land and play 3 cards in hand. We're tapped out. This is all we've got. The Augur of Autumn would be great. Coven is active. We could start playing things off the top. Fire is really good. They could combo us. How are they gonna kill us? Luminarch in play. This is good. Then they take a 4-drop. Another Aura. It triggers on the Righteous Valkyrie. It's back in play. Gaining a buttload of life. Let's be honest. They might come back and get us. They got the combo pieces established. How do they deal with us? Like, we have so much volume coming their way. Stop it. I'm coming over. Math is really for blockers. It's above my pay grade. I can go up to about 4, and I like to look at pictures. So we see some pretty nice blocks here. This is great. Holy Toledo's. They're going to gain 5 life from the interaction. That puts them to 24. I don't even know if we have that much damage. I know we have a lot. We're hitting for 20 with trample. 25, 29. This, yeah. And as long as they don't have any removal, we're good to go. Whoa. Going first seems fair. Turn 1, Allenbach. It's playable, I guess. Turn 2, Luminarch with the counter on itself. As they're tapped, they don't even get a chance to remove it. I'll allow it. Beautiful. We hit for 1. And Augur can't be played, which is sad, but we could play another Escort with a Luminarch. They tap. Wow, what did they foretell? It's like a Poison the Cup, maybe? Farmland in play. Escort out with another Luminarch. Let's hit for 4. Down to 15. Look at that field state. That's purdy. And we'll gain Coven. Well, we already have it, but when we play the Augur, we get it, and then we can play... Never mind that! We can play discard our whole hand and lose everything. Well, shoot. Do we try to bait them with the land? We have to always keep ahead of the hook as well, I guess, right? Yeah, let's bait them, because they're down to 6, so maybe they go in for a discard. They can only hook for 2, and we're still hitting for 7. They would gain 2 life up to 8, and we'd actually hit for 9 because the Luminarchs would push up one final time. So the hook doesn't work. Single target removal doesn't work. Right? I'm the all-in-block escort with the Luminarch. It's just so good. Okay, so they can exile or bounce. That's their only blue mana. Totally fine. And then they meet hook for 1. Nice. So I'm gonna stack these escorts first, so they're not gaining life off them. So sad. They will gain 1 here, up to 7. They're holding on. Land out, Vanguard in play. Swing for 4. They're down to 3. They do get another turn though, and this isn't good. This is where the control deck takes over. 4 cards in hand. They gain 1 life, and we're only hitting for 3. Gotta take it though. They're down to 1. Another Hamlet Vanguard. They both have Ward, which is nice, but they're potentially playing their 6th land. They do. 3 cards in hand. Hook in play as well. Bornclex that can't attack, nor can it block. We win. Well, I mean, it can block, but we still win. Woo! That was close. Going first, the hand isn't bad. Farmland in tapped. Catilda, and then the pack leader. Little light on our green mana sources, but once the pack leader's in play... Oh, and that kind of fixes it as well, right? Decent. Well, there goes that. They're not even playing. I would like to wait until I draw another forest and can protect. I'm worried. There it is. Pass turn. This is great as well, right? They flipped knight. We are in trouble. We just block that? We do, don't we? And they get, what, 4 damage in on our person? Dang. Just 3. We have to make a play at a certain point. It sucks that we're losing all of our creatures, though. Power up the Vanguard. Seeker out. Double down on 1 Seeker. No blocks. Take it down to 10. Oh no. We have nothing to cast. This is very bad. Counter over. No attack. Cast Wild Shape just for fun. That way it doesn't turn to night. And, yikes. They have 4 cards in hand still. If they double down, we do take one out. Okay. Down to 7. This is good. This is exactly what we want to see. And we're just playing defensively. Only hitting for 10, that's not enough, and it's nighttime, right? So, this is a big hit. Doesn't get through. And we're just going to keep pushing up this Intrepid. The higher it gets, the better luck we'll have. Soon we can start swinging, right? We're at 18 damage, so 2 away from a lethal, which would make them block. But I don't really want to push up the Luminarch. I just want to keep pushing up. Oh! Our Intrepid. Dang, yo. How many lands in a row? Too many lands in a row. Dang. We need to double cast, too. We did get a little bit of life. That should carry us through. Oh my gosh. Never mind. Let me draw another land off the top. Nice. Good game. That's too many lands. That's way too many lands. Selesnya humans. It didn't disappoint. We slapped some cool decks with it and got pretty lucky with some of our draws. That turn 1 Escort, turn 2 Luminarch. It's absolute fire. And like I said at the beginning of the video, that is a taste of what the newest version of Mono White or Milky Smooth will have incorporated within it for those of you who want to be ahead of the curve. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean you don't get to watch the video when it comes out, because we got some other cool stuff worked into that build for you as well. Let me know what you think of this specific deck in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, join the community Discord within the link tree in the description below. And yeah, have a magical day. We'll see you soon in the next.